Hi everyone, can you tell me, am I audible? Are you able to hear me? Yes, yes. Okay,
Yes,
now
yes,
one
ma'am.
more. I am starting sharing the screen. Just let me know you are able to see the slides. Are you able to see the slide? You have to speak up. I'm not able to see the uh,
Yes, ma'am, your
chat.
slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
perfect. Let's start. So today we are talking about pharmacovigilance methods, like how we collect the data for pharmacovigilance, right? And today I will be setting up the initial context, and we will be having one more session on this. How many of you know what is pharmacovigilance? So pharmacovigilance is to assess the safety, right? So in clinical trial, if we want to assess the safety, it is by the PV, right? So there are two parameters in a clinical trial: efficacy. Efficacy is how well this drug is working, and safety, right? And safety we measure in terms of AEs, SAEs, ADRs, right? These are the basics. I will explain you as well, right? So you will suppose there are 1,000 subjects in your trial. How many number of AEs, number of SAEs, number of ADRs? This will give you the fair idea about the safety. That's about your clinical trial. How about when the drug is in the market? Then this pharmacovigilance program, they keep on reporting these events, and from that we come to know that is this equation is valid as a part of your risk assessment, so then you share this. Hmm? Okay, this is just so adverse event. Anyone who would like to share the definition of adverse event? What are the adverse events? Here is the definition. So suppose you have a drug. Why it is changing? We are taking drug to for certain action. It may be to help with the fever, it may be for oncology, it may be for anything. That is a desired action. That is a desirable action. It help us to, with a fever or headache or hypertension, whatever we want from that clinical research. That is desired action. But the problem is we are also getting unwanted reactions, right? So this unwanted is your adverse. So that's the basic. So now undesirable medical condition is your A. We were not expecting it, neither we want, but it is happening. Maybe you have taken a tablet, it is causing you nausea. Nausea is then undesirable medical condition. Or pre-existing and deterioration to pre-existing medical condition. Already person used to experience headache once a week, but now twice a week, thrice a week. It is deteriorating. So it may be related to your product or may not be related to your product. So we are taking drugs, vaccines, any treatment to bring some desirable impact. But with this positive thing, we are also getting some negative things, unwanted reactions. These unwanted reactions, they are coming in the category of event. Now remember this word carefully, events. Now, this is the definition of event. How many of you know this definition? This by default you should know. Maybe you are going for a PV interview, maybe you are going for your CRC interview, CTA interview, any interview, medical writing interview, people will ask you adverse event. So, and sorry, is there any question? Okay. So any untoward medical occurrence in a patient or a clinical investigational subject administered a pharmaceutical product which doesn't necessarily have a causal relationship with the treatment. Who is speaking? Ahmed, Ritul, please put yourself on mute. So I have put Ritul on mute. Okay, you can unmute yourself. No worries. You can ask question, but you know this your unnecessary noise. It disturbs. Let me share screen once again. Start sharing screen. Correct. Okay. So A can be therefore unfavorable, unattended sign, including abnormal lab findings. For example, BP is coming as 90, 130. Maybe person is totally fine. He's looking fine outside, but if this is abnormal finding. Vital sign. This is like maybe lab or a vital sign. Right? So ECG report is not normal. That will also come in adverse event. Symptom or disease temporarily associated with the use of a medicinal product. Now, these are the examples of adverse event. Any injury from scratch to broken limb, it may be as small as a scratch, as big as broken limb. New disease, disorder, increase in the severity of existing condition. Person was in hospital since 2 days. Now, because of new drug, this changed to 6 days. That means increase in the severity. Hypertension already, but it increased. Unusual, unexpected occurrence. Now, this is important. Adverse drug reaction. So now, if easy way, I always tell students to remember. See, in adverse event, there is no drug. In adverse drug reaction, there is a drug. That means it maybe have a causal relationship with drug. It may be because of a drug. Any obnoxious or unattended response to medicinal product related to any dose. It can be at any dose. It may be at a 5 mg, it may be as a 10 mg. Why I'm telling you any dose? Because sometimes dose escalation also happens, right? There is a video on my channel also. If you want to see, a lot of examples are given for distinction into ADRs and AEs. So when you see B is there, if you know easy, this is a kind of trick, remember, the moment its wording has a drug, that means it is related to study product. That is suggesting there is a relation to trial medication. So that means the adverse effect is happening because of drug. That means it's a serious thing. Now, not all A's are ADRs, but ADRs are A's. I will explain to you. A's must be recorded. Even a small, big, every A should be recorded. This is the one diagram that you can memorize. I can explain you with an example. Pay little attention. Sorry. Suppose in our trial there are 1,000 subjects. We are taking example as of now, clinical trial, not a medical product, market product. So 1,000 exam. That means now normal think so too. This experience, this trial may be for 2 years. Normally in 2 years, how many times you fall sick? Just in general. Just at least once. Give me an answer. At least within 1 year, how many times generally we fall sick? Maybe a headache, fever, cold, cough. How many times incidents happen? 2, 3 times at least. Seasonal flu happens, right? That because in irrespective of the drug, irrespective of the fact we are in a clinical trial, so that means minimum, I am telling you, 5,000 AEs are going to recorded in this is minimum number I'm telling, right? Now anything which is happening small, someone is getting flu, someone is getting headache, someone is having a BP issue, someone having a low iron deficiency of iron, that will be also counted as a E. But these are general things which are happening, maybe may not be related to drug, that is event. So now initially it is reported, suppose some women reported she's having iron deficiency. Very easiest example I'm taking, it will be reported as A. But when they analyzed, this iron deficiency is because the drug that we are giving, it is not helping, it is not helping to absorb, it is interfering with the absorption of iron. That means it has a relationship with the study drug. So out of these 5,000, maybe 500 are where there is a possibility of a relationship to drug. So this is the reason we say all ADs are AEs, but all AEs are not ADRs. Correct? So this is the thing you have to remember. Now coming to S series. Out of these 5,000, only maybe say 200, they are serious adverse event. Again, events. They are a serious. What is the condition for serious? Can someone tell me the definition of serious adverse event? Type here, just interact, engage, otherwise no benefit. Because Ajit also has told us that we try to engage with the students as much as possible. So what is the definition of serious adverse event? Life threatening, fatal, very nice. What else? Death. It starts as death, life threatening. Two are done. Yes. Okay. Disability, permanent damage means disability. Okay, increase in hospitalization. One more to go. Lifetime. वो same है, dear. Organ failure, life. This is coming in the life threatening. What is the definition? Birth defect, congenital effects. Huh? So these are the things, 5 criteria you have to remember. So where are slides? So here maybe out of these 200, they may be falling in the serious adverse event category. Now can you see here, this is overlapping. That means maybe 5, just 5 out of these 5 may be falling in the category. They are a serious also, they are reactions also. That means serious ADRs, reactions. That means possibility to related to drug. That means, suppose example, death, there was a death. And when doctor gone through his medical records and everything, they are finding that it may be possibly related to drug. There is a relationship and it is serious also. This may lead to stopping of your trial because it's a serious thing. Drugs are there to treat, but no one can expect a fatal outcome. Now, this is also one thing. UADRs. What is meaning of U? Unexpected. Out of these 500, maybe 30, 40, some percentage is unexpected. What is the meaning of unexpected? When we start our clinical trial, there is IV, investigator brochure, and we have done preclinical studies. Or you can say animal study. So from this, we got a reasonable, clue that there may be a certain reactions. But unexpected is those are not mentioned any of these. Suppose this is having an impact on a BP, but never ever came into notice in a preclinical study or earlier studies that they have done. That is coming under unexpected. Any question till now? This is the definition of unexpected areas. Any definition? Oh, sorry, sorry. Keep on speaking. Any question till now? Is it clear? Because this is our foundation. This is also I'm preparing you for your interviews. Because job is important, you remember, no, irrespective of the fact what we are doing, job is important, right? Clear, ma'am? Okay, Vaishnavi. Very good. So today I'm giving you also one homework. After our class, please revise. If nothing, ADR essays is at least revise that. Okay, let's move. This is the definition. I'm taking small pause. You can go through it. All right, all right. I hope so. An adverse reaction, the nature or severity of which is not consistent with applicable product information. That is your investigative brochure or package insert, or you can say not even in the animal studies. Because based on our animal studies, only we update the investigative brochure if we are doing phase 1. Suppose if we are doing phase 2, then animal studies plus phase 1 data will help us. So this is the definition. I intentionally asked you initially. So the definition is of a serious adverse event, any untoward medical occurrence at any dose, result in death, life-threatening, require hospitalization or prolonged hospitalization, result in disability or incapability. किसी की टांग टूट गई, limb has broken, or any mental challenge, or last is birth defects like a thalidomide tragedy. Thalidomide tragedy is the only one who given the birth to pharmacovigilance, right? Now we are coming on our second part of our class, how these side effects are monitored. Now I want to tell you one little thing. There are two parts of PB. If you are having my book, then you can take a look in there also. But otherwise, one is when you are doing clinical trial, the way I have explained you. Another is when drug is in market. This diagram is when drug is in the market. In clinical trials, you report the side effect AEs and SAs as routines, right? Because it is in a controlled environment. Suppose A happened, you will instantly fill a CRF for A and you will report. SA happened, the team, the site team, CRC or senior staff, they will fill the form of SA and then they will report, or you can say SIOM form. But here we are dependent on a healthcare professionals, and it has to be part of our national pharmacovigilance program. So this is also the reason when some company they file NDA application, they also give their PV pharmacovigilance plan, that when they will be their drug will be in the market, how they are going to monitor these side effects, that they give their plan. It is known as a pharmacovigilance management plan. So NDA is after your phase 3. This is application to market your product, right? let me zoom it a little bit. So say as an example, there is patient comes in clinic, and he says, I'm getting itching. Just very easiest, simplest example. Or one is he himself is saying that I have taken this drug, I'm experiencing itching, my whole body is itching. Or healthcare professional noted, this person told nurse, oh, this is a nurse. Or like in European countries or other part of world, he himself filled the adverse drug report. That is one way. Then it will go to either a pharma company if they have some system in that particular hospital and say, or it will go to national competent authority. So now just imagine, this is one hospital example I have given. So globally, suppose this drug we are giving in 10 countries. So like this data will be coming from all the 10 countries to each of their national competent authority, like R is DCJ. From here, it will go to global databases, VGBase or Udra Vigilance. Now suppose for itching, we have received 100 cases within a month. Because we came to know, we are recording everything, we came to know. Now, when scientists or senior members, they will be reviewing the safety profile of the drug, they'll be seeing that lot many cases of itchings are coming globally. Or is it the case that in 5 countries, these cases are coming more, rest of the 5 countries, they are not coming, maybe because of environment or something else, or maybe genetics or anything. So then they will review the safety, that maybe they need to add some instruction. One example I give you, suppose from this data came in that anyone who is taking this drug, they are experiencing hypertension. So next time they have to add a, instruction that this is a side effect of this drug. If person is already at a borderline of a hypertension, that maybe he or she has not need to take this drug. Say an example, a pregnant woman. Data is suggesting this is not good for pregnant women. That means that instruction you have to add in your safety information. You always see package insert. That package insert will be updated based on this pharmacovigilance program. Now see how important this role is. Sometimes there is written as like diabetic patient do not take this drug. How this is they came to know from this safety profile. So now this is how this what you say the events they flow. The report, then you do the data entry, coding and assessment as per your Medra dictionary. No, Medra dictionary is used. Then signal detection. Signal is nothing, it is a new information. Signal is new information. Now signal came in, example, signal came in that the folks who are experiencing hypertension, they should not take a drug. So that means this is a new signal. Maybe after 4 or 5 years, the data came in that this drugs, take an example of retinol, skincare, people use a lot retinol, right? It was used initially to help with the acne and all that. Later they came to know that this also helped to regenerate the skin, helps in anti-aging. So that's how they came to know that new information. It can be positive as well, right? That is signal, and that's based on that you update the information for that particular drug. Now, based till now, any question? You can unmute yourself and can let me know if there are questions. Today may be possible, we can finish our class little earlier, but our next class will be little, what you say, it will run little longer. The reason is I'll try to include one or two activities in that, so you can you know have a deeper understanding. So pharmacovigilance methods. There is an active surveillance. That means proper pharma companies setting a system. There are maybe some designing a real time studies. Passive surveillance. Automatically nurse, doctor, they just notice this is adverse event or this is a better effect of a drug, and then reported. Stimulated, again some system is set it up. We are pushing it. Comparative observational studies, old drug slash new drug comparison. Targeted clinical investigation, special study designed on some particular clinic. So West method can vary depending on the product, depending on the indication, even a population. It can vary. So these tools are somehow more popular, but anyways, we will learn about all the methods. So in our next class, we will go a little deep. So today we are just trying to set a base. So first of all, what is active surveillance? So active surveillance is that there it is that where you record the adverse event by continuous pre-organized process. Suppose the pharma company, they have set up the few sites like Delhi, AIMS, Safdarjung Hospital, similarly in Chennai, some hospital, Bangalore, some hospital. So they get a structured data. They get a perfect idea on your drug safety or event based. We will explain you. Registries. Maybe there is a drug on for a cardio. Maybe they have a set up the cardiology registry, that if there will be a new information that will be uploaded in this registry. Passive surveillance. Passive surveillance is that maybe some alert, what you say, doctor, nurse, healthcare professional, they noted and voluntarily they reported. Even a patient. It's not like this is not a good system. It is a very good system because a thalidomide tragedy, it was voluntarily reported by Australian doctor, because when he noted that generally 1.5% birth defects takes place, but when he saw that the patient who are on thalidomide, there the percentage between 15 to 20%, which is extremely high. He even published a paper. So that was part of a passive surveillance, and that's how he was aware. He made a publication. He made everyone aware. It is your voluntarily reporting. Most usual form of surveillance undertake in the most of countries. So most of the leading hospitals, even in our nation, the big hospitals, you will see government of India, they'll set the passive surveillance units. Spontaneous report, case series, they are they are part of a passive surveillance. Spontaneous reports means there is adverse event or serious adverse event, they noted and they reported. Case series, someone designed it, that I will study this. I will study cases, one case, two case, three case, and then like thalidomide, right? So then they published it. Now, next is a stimulated reporting. Any question till now? Okay, I will answer your question, don't worry. So, if single ADR happen, adverse drug reaction, there are many ADRs happen in clinical trial. That doesn't make it recall. Because of single ADR, it may not be recalled. Even for many, until these are not very fatal. But if it is fatal, if it is falling in the category of a serious adverse events, serious adverse drug reactions, then can it lead to recall of your drug. I tell you example. This thing is taken very seriously. We were doing trial, and then suddenly we saw that because our trial was on infants, then kids were experiencing seizures all of a sudden. 3 incidents in 1 month, which means experiencing a very serious condition. And then data safety monitoring board instantly took a decision. Until safety is not established, we are putting this trial on hold, because there was a suspicion that it is because of drug. When the investigation done, they came to know all the seizures, they are happening with respect to one batch, the drug which is coming in particular batch. So that means batch manufacturing was the issue. So that was corrected, and then the trial was resumed after 1 month. So if it is serious, then it can lead to many things, right? Early termination of a trial, anything. Another example, we were doing phase 3 trial only. There was a death. Infant died. And some newspaper also published it. Instantly, our trial was temporarily, was put on hold until it was not established that this drug is safe. So that is the context. So coming back to our topic, stimulated reporting, the method used to encourage and facilitate the reporting of by healthcare professionals for a new product for a limited time. Suppose Pfizer company, they launched a new drug, and they generally, their team will liaison with certain hospitals that please, if there will be any ADRs, AEs of this drug, please report. They will basically train them. This also include the online adverse event reporting and systematic stimulation of a reporting of any adverse event. So limitation, what is? Sometimes data is incomplete and also not useful to generate the accurate incident rates, because sometimes there are certain conditions that those are must be reported on the ADR, like a name, date, drug dose. Sometimes people leave the information incomplete, that become difficult to assess. That means your assessment may not be complete. Okay, so comparative observational studies. This is also one of the epidemiological tool. This is the reason HEOR studies, real world studies, they are making a mark in today's world. So traditional epidemiological methods are key component in the evaluation of adverse event, because you will able to compare. So you will be having a solid result, and you will be able to know that is it safe or not. These are number of observational study designs that are useful in validating the signal. Signal is information from spontaneous reports or case series. Major these design are cross-sectional studies. We will learn in next class. What is case control study? What is cohort study? Retrospective and prospective. Right? Both types. For example, someone, he just thought of making a study design where he wanted to retrospectively wanted to study the link between cancer, lung cancer, and smoking. Example. Or someone will say that I will study for next 10 years. Any example, those are a comparative observational study. We will learn about the detail in the next class. Targeted clinical investigation. When significant risks are identified from pre-approval clinical trial, further clinical studies might be conducted. Say example I have given you, that kids were experiencing seizures. This was in the phase 3. So they identified this risk, that this is a risk. So they may design further studies just to see that is it a really this side effect is coming or not. Who designed this? Sponsors or a pharma company. So sponsor can be any, either a pharma company, device company, even like you are leading these public health organizations. So, but only thing is large simplified trials are conducted. Maybe on a 40,000, 50,000. I have seen one trial on 1 lakh population they conducted because it's observational. So targeted clinical investigation. So you may already know the risk that this is maybe the side effect which came again and again during our clinical trials. Correct. So now it may be possible that we need to evaluate it more. We need to go. So they designed the study for investigations. So pharmacovigilance plan. So this is little I want to cover. For most product, routine pharmacovigilance is sufficient for a post-marketing risk assessment in certain instances where the risk is high. Say example, take vaccines or any trial for a kids. So pharma company has to make a pharmacovigilance plan. So here they have to describe their efforts, that what they are going to do beyond routine spontaneous monitoring. Example, that they will be designing target clinical investigation. Another example can be they will be doing comparative studies like that. So what extra effort they are going to do, to ensure their product is safe. So that is your pharmacovigilance plan. So this also enhance or expedite the sponsor acquisition for a safety information, because for sponsor it's also important that their product is safe. Because if it is not safe, right? If it is not safe, that pharma company can also face a lawsuit. They also have to protect their reputation. So what is discussed in a pharmacovigilance plan? How they will be doing expedited reporting of serious adverse event. Adverse event summarized at more frequent intervals. Additional or observational studies may be designed or clinical trials. They will also implement the active surveillance activities. And pharmacovigilance plan can be given at any time. So emerging new safety data may result in ongoing revisions to sponsors pharmacovigilance plan. So that's all for us today. The crux is in pharmacovigilance, which is done for safety. These are the things you should remember. And next is methods. What is active surveillance, active, passive, case control, planned studies, targeted clinical studies, comparative studies, stimulated reporting. Basically this slide, at least from today's class, just this is the biggest takeaway. For our next class, we'll go little deeper. So now let's take the questions. I have, Ritul, I have answered your question, right? In next class, I can also show you the what of pharmacovigilance guideline. Do you know which ICH guideline is followed for pharmacovigilance? Which guideline is followed for pharmacovigilance? Like GCP is E6 guideline. So for pharmacovigilance, which guideline is followed? be silent. Wrong answer is also acceptable. No problem. HNO ये क्या है अहमद? ये कौन सी गाइडलाइन? E to E. For Medra, honestly saying, Argus and Udra, I have not worked. Medra is dictionary, but Ashish will be taking your class, Vaishnavi. It's not like someone will not take. So Ashish will take your class, right? On the Medra and Argus and Udra. Hmm? So okay, E to E guidelines are from E to A to E to E. Just a moment, if I can show you the browser, I think you know it already. So just if you are able to see my browser, go here on E. E is the one which is related to our clinical trials. So here is E already because mine is open. So here, if you see, there are n number of guidelines, E1, E2, E3, E4, and like that. A GCP, which all of us should know, is E6. Good clinical practice is E6 guideline. From here, you can download also. This got revised this year. Now, being a pharmacovigilance associate, here are from E to A to E to F. All these are guidelines are related to clinical safety data management. What is safety? Our pharmacovigilance program. See, first is on your definitions. Second is how to process the individual case safety reports. See, E2C guideline, periodic benefit risk evaluation report. See, I have shown you pharmacovigilance planning. Here is the guideline. Suppose you are working in a pharma company. You will be coming here and downloading this and using it. Even you are, I wanted to show you one thing. You will get the, the development of safety update report and everything here. Okay, so download these. Just go through these guidelines. Okay. So any other question? In next class, we will meet in detail. So no, thank you. Then we are good to close, right? Thank you, dear. Happy Teachers' Day. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Thank you, Lokesh. All right. All right. Thanks, Neha. We are good to close. Wish you a good time. Enjoy the weekend and happy learning, right? Thanks, Rachna. All right. Take care. Bye.